Hi guys, Dave here, Humble Trekker channel. How are you doing today? This video is going to be a history and a user guide to the Swedish personal mess kit. Now, this may at first glance appear to be just a regular European style mid-century designed mess kit, personal cooking equipment for out in the field, but there's a couple of Easter eggs in this that not everybody knows about, and I'm going to show that. Now, this particular model, this is the M44 Swedish mess kit, introduced in 1944, and it's the aluminium variant. The M44 means it's the aluminium variant, introduced 1944. Interestingly enough, the actual history of this type of mess kit goes all the way back to the late 19th century. In the late 19th century, around 1870, late 1870s, early 1880s, they introduced a version of this, a variant of this, which basically looked very much the same, but was made out of copper. And all around dimensions was slightly larger. It was around 25% in all dimensions larger than this. And it's incredible to think that really they had the idea for this nesting mess kit right back in the 19th century. In 1895, the Swedes, they introduced basically the same design, but in an iron plate material, because it was cheaper to manufacture. That variant lasted all the way until 1940, and in 1940 they introduced the M40, which looks on the surface exactly the same as the M44, but it's made out of stainless steel, and that was again replaced in 1944 with the aluminium variant because aluminium was cheaper and to a certain extent lighter. So they went from copper to iron to steel to this version, the M44 aluminium. Mainly for economic reasons, they kept changing the material, but also it was said that the iron version, the one that was introduced 1895, left a nasty metallic taste on the food that you had in your cooking pot. The hook here that you have, when you're putting it away for transportation, you ram the hook, push the hook into this loop here, and then it will keep everything from rattling around. Exactly where you'll push it depends on your own personal version, because over time these hooks, they always develop their own shape from being bent. This is sometimes known as the Swedish Army Trangia, but in actual fact only one component of it is made by Trangia. The beauty of it, one of the reasons it's popular, is because it's completely self-contained with everything you need for a field kitchen. Let me put this to one side. This part is known as the wind shield. In usage, the wind shield is orientated so. It's got two metal folding legs sort of thing inside of it. When it's packed down, you push them down into the bottom, and then when you want to use it, you pull them up like this, so that it creates a platform for your pot. We'll get onto more of that later. The windshield, let's put that to one side. And actually, when I hit this, I think this actually part might be made out of steel and not aluminium. But don't hold me to that. That's not so important what it's made out of. Then you get to the rest of the contraption. It's got a bail or carrying arm here and a hook, and it's got a funny little notch here on the bail arm, and I'm going to get to what that's for later. That's one of the little Easter eggs. So we open it up here with this handle arm. You take this part off, and this part is what is generally known as the frying pan. It's a bit of a glorious name for what it actually is. And inside it's got a military mark, 3 crowns for Sweden, and it's got a number there, which is, the number is 3200. I don't know what the significance of that is, but this is definitely aluminium. And here you've got 2 little loops. Again, this is another innovative design feature, which we'll get onto later. But let me show you why. One of the reasons this is a smart deal, because you can get everything, nearly everything that you need for your cooking set inside it. And what you get in it, or what you can fit in it, is a Swedish Army, what there's known in Swedish as a kåsa, which is basically a plastic mug. And you see it's got like an egg-shaped form. And when I first came across these cups and I was given something to drink out of it, I hated them, absolutely hated them. I still don't like them to this day, because I don't like drinking out of them. It's just a funny shape. You spill your coffee or you spill your juice or whatever it is you've got coming out of it, because the way you put it on your lips. And I could never understand why these plastic mugs were built in this shape, until I learnt more about this kit. And I learnt that it's because it fits inside it like this. So the plastic Swedish Army kåsa is an extra that fits inside. You also fit inside the fuel bottle, and inside a plastic bag to stop it leaking, the brass Trangia alcohol stove. And this is the only part of the stove which is made by Trangia, or designed by Trangia. It's not necessarily made by Trangia because it's outsourced to other factories, so to speak. So, and then you've got your final, your saucepan, your large cooking vessel. So inside it you get your alcohol stove, your plastic kåsa or plastic cup, the spirits bottle. So you've got everything you need, apart from maybe a fire sauce and a spoon, for your camp kitchen. This cook set is designed to either be used over an open fire or using the spirit stove. So with a spirit stove, you'd open it up, you pour in your alcohol fuel, and then you put over the windshield like this. You see this is not a symmetrical windshield, there's a slot there. And you would put in, for example, your saucepan and cook. But now we've got a problem. This is going to get hot. This is going to get hot. Aluminium really conducts heat very, very well. So this handle's going to get hot. So they thought about that, those smart Swedes, and they put 2 holes in it like this. So let's just move this out of the way. All you need to do is pick up a twig or a small stick from the floor of the forest, and voila, you have a non-conducting handle, perfectly crafted for cooking with, which you can either use on your stove like that, or you could, hold that over an open fire. Fantastic, right? So that's what those 2 hoops are used for there. Let's put this back. Let's imagine we're cooking up again. We're not going to use the frying pan. We're going to use the large vessel. We put the large vessel on it like this, and this is fine, right? We're cooking our water, but the handle falls down. We turn around, we have a fag. Oh no, what's happened? All of a sudden, all the flames are going up around the side. This is getting really, really hot, and you've got to try and somehow grab this pot and pull it off, and you're going to burn your fingers, or you have to get your gloves out or something like that. Really, really annoying. But no, this clever Swedes, they thought of that. They've actually created a 3-point handle system, and that's where the second notch comes in. So let's get this out of the way, give some space. You put the loop there of the hanging hook there, and you fold the hook like that. I'll give you a close-up how I do it. And then you've got a firm handle for your cooking pot, so you can use that on your stove like that. And also, of course, it's useful that one of the problems with this is that if you've got the bale over the top like this, when you come to eat out of it, you're holding it like this and your hand's going to be in the way. But now when you eat with it like this, you can hold it in your left hand like this quite comfortably, and you can access it with your spoon or your fork, get your soup out there, get your stew out there, get it, whatever it is out of there, without having your holding hand over the top of it. So it's useful, keep your hand away from the heat, and also makes it a handier carrying handle when you actually want to eat from it. So that's how you set it up. Use that third notch, wedge the hook under that loop there, and you've got a firm 3-point carrying handle. Anytime you've got the option, you can cook over an open fire like this, hang it off of a tripod, and if you need to or you want to, you could decrease the boiling time by using the frying pan as a lid. This is known in Sweden as the Snuskburken, which translated in English kind of means the dirty box. And the reason it's given that name is because due to the shape of it, when you eat from it, especially if you're in a rush, if you can imagine if you're in the military and you've got to quickly eat and then move to the next base or camp or whatever the hell you're doing, you don't spend a lot of time cleaning it. And also if you don't have, you know, the right type of brushes, good brushes and good detergent, it's actually very difficult to get right down into the corners there. So invariably what would happen if you went out on a training session, you'd come back after 5 days with basically 5 days residue of food in the bottom of it. And that's kind of like one of the reasons I personally don't use it. I have used it to test it, but I prefer the modern, a more modern type of mess kit for my own usage, just because it's a little bit difficult to clean it out basically. That's the one negative I have with it. Until next time, take it easy and have a great one.